What are we going to be doing today with this track monster?
This one's going to be a bit more of an eventful one. We're going to be doing our battery. Next, we're going to be figuring out how hard it is to do brakes without the proper tools, and then figuring something else out in the process of doing them. Then after that, we get a special surprise from our dad in form of a picture while I'm at work of the garage floor, if you can infer what that means. Oil. Anyway, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and let's go do that battery change.
Now that you guys are on the tripod and the work light is now on so you can see, let's go ahead and get this party started here. So first thing we're gonna do is just take this cover off, because this is where the battery sits in this engine bay here. And there's our battery. Now generally battery jobs are pretty known and easy to do. So first I have to go ahead and unscrew this top panel here. So just gotta get something square that'll fit that hole. Now, where something like that would be, I don't know, but we're gonna try and figure it out. And of course I don't know where it's at, because it's the perfect tool for this job right now. So it's gonna be the one thing that's gonna hide from me. And it has been located. Oh, so originally this was a Phillips head screwdriver hole. It is now worn down into a circle-ish square mess and thing. So maybe if we can find a Phillips head that's big enough to fit that, which I don't know if we have one, it'll get off a little bit easier. Okay, I found this. It's slightly bigger than the last one, so hopefully it should fit this a little bit better. And it does, actually. Yeah, that was a lot easier. So we're just gonna take this off, and then with these batteries, you have to take off the seal here, so it's just unclipped, or unpulled off. Yeah, you get what I mean. That exposes the full battery. Now, what do we need next? We need to do the red wire, which is the hot wire. So that will be this puppy here. And we're gonna need to unscrew it here. So let's see what we got. We got I don't know what size that would be. So let's get to testing the sockets. My hunch is it could be a 10. So we're gonna try with that first. And it looks like I was correct, because it's coming off really easy. You don't need to fully remove the bolt. You just loosen it and then just pull this section off, because this is what's completing the circuit, obviously. Just kind of wiggle it. And it looks like it could be a little bit looser, so we're just gonna do that real quick. This isn't even screwed in. There it is. All right, you just gotta pull out kind of hard. I got the first one out, we are good. Let's not let it touch that though, because if these two meet, that's what's gonna cause it to spark. And that's what we're trying to avoid by taking the red one off first. So let's, this is kind of like going back home here. Leave it there. Take this one out. Now the battery is disconnected. I know the battery is not connected and all that, but it still makes me a little bit nervous, I won't lie. Okay. Now, where are we connected here? We have the plug in the back. I have to take that out. And that should be everything, since this is not screwed in very obviously. Okay, hold on. It's a heavy battery. Let's limber up the back real quick. Okay, I see it now. It has a ledge inside of there that catches the bottom of the battery. So in order for it to come out, I need to slide it that way and then out. Dang, it's not heavy. Hold on. I don't think that's right. That should not be that hard to take out. Now I am fighting cords, so that could be part of the problem here. I might need a second set of hands for this, just to get the cords out of the way, and then I can take it out. I think that's the problem. Yep. And then lean it back, and then out. Perfect. Okay. Woo! Now batteries are pretty heavy from what we have now seen. And I'm seeing more debris back here, as well as my brake booster. So as for the debris side of things, I'm going to get the vacuum. Now what to do with this information that I have So from the looks of it, this is supposed to adjust to the size of the battery. And this is supposed to be the first thing that you unscrew, I guess. But it wasn't even screwed in, oddly enough, which is probably for the better because I would not have gotten that out otherwise. I don't think we even have a bit that's that long. So I don't know how I'm supposed to get that in there. But first, here's our new battery before we worry about all of that. Spot the difference. Which one is the new one? I think this one's a little bit cleaner than this one. No, but the only difference between these two here is this one has 160 more cold cranking amps, so that just means it will fire up faster and easier whenever it's freezing cold outside, which doesn't happen very much in Texas, especially since that one says it was tested at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. That doesn't really happen here.
I think I summoned a winter storm. This is snow in Texas. Like, you get the idea. Snow all over the place. This is... Did I do this?
So that's not as much to worry about. This new one is exactly the same otherwise. 12 volt, 70 amp hour, 600 amps, 600 cold cranking amps, and that's fine. So now it says this is a flooded and sealed battery. I don't know what the difference is between these two in that sense, but if I'm carrying it, you can hear the liquid sloshing around. So I don't know if that's how just most batteries work, but shall we get it in there now? Do not tip or open. Well, I'll give it a while. So I'm gonna take this out here. I should have done that the whole time. Well, better late than never, I guess. And then here is the fun part where we throw the battery in there. Let's go ahead and get the, actually no, we're gonna leave this bracket out. This can stay on until it's in there so we can secure it, but that does need to go in there at some point. How it's gonna be done, I don't know. Will it be done? Yes. Goodness gracious. Great googly moogly. Okay. There we go, okay. Let's fold these down, slide it to the back, and now we can see where this thing will need to go. Right where you guys can't see it. Okay, I understand it now. We shall slam this down in here with this conveniently extra long extension. We're just gonna get that down in there real quick. Now we just take our extra long pole off right here and we, hold up. There we go, okay. Just had to give it some extra little bit of elbow grease on that one there. Now, we have this pole off, we slam it on the floor, gently. And then what we do is we pop these plastic doohickeys off, and that will allow us to then put a battery up in there. So I'm going to put this plug up on her first, on the side that is unplugged, and the hole right here. There it is. So in order to take this, put this on there, gotta pull this tab off of the black negative side, slot that on there, get it on nice and secure. Perfect. Don't want to damage it, so don't like slam it in there, but like, you know what I mean. And then get to screwing it on there. Don't have to worry about this too much because this is covered, so yeah, it's whatever. And then, what the heck? Yeah, I'm going to swap wrenches here because that one was straight buns. Much better, okay. It kept flipping on me, so I don't know what was up with that. Quick swapped to a better wrench. Hello, I'm gonna set you to the side here if you don't mind. Thank you, sir. This one just isn't as clicky as the other one. It's like silent. Now you don't want to like Hulk smash it down where you're damaging the clamp, but you just want it secure because this will hold in place by itself. You don't need to like, yeah, again, because this is a softer metal from what I understand. So you don't want to make it start being damaged because then you're gonna have to replace that. And assuming the fact that this is the main wiring of the entire car, that might be a little bit more expensive than just not damaging it. So, all right, now we just popped off that red one here. Let's get this down open there. So, hello. Now, did I do this in the wrong order?
The answer is no, I didn't do anything in the wrong order. It's just that the wire is completing the circuit whenever it's touching the other coil, of course. So I'm just chickening out a little bit because I don't want to get shocked and, you know, electricity is scary.
It's this mental thing.
Negative on?
Yeah, negative's on. And it's fine to hold it here if it's sparking?
I mean, yeah, the spark's not going into that. Electricity's running through there once you hook it up anyway.
Because that's how I took it off, so.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Don't put your finger between this.
Oh, yeah.
on the spark, but
Okay. You're evil. Nice and simple.
And thanks to the moral support of my dad, I got it done. Yeah.
Perfect. That's all. It's just the sparks I don't like. Guess I'll see if it fires up. We have lights. Okay. I thought it was giving me a warning light, but it's just saying the hood's open, so we're good. Now, as we can see here, if we just open the door, there is no more low battery charge light on the dash, which is much better. So that's good to go. Next thing to do is the rear brakes. And welcome to what is now 2 days later and is actually the new year. So it is January 1st right now. But since it's been a couple days, that's allowed some time for some issues to arise.
well, I guess I might need the car keys.
Now that we're actually able to get into the car, we're able to see issue number 1. It's back. So if you did miss that last video, which I do highly recommend you watch it for context, what we're thinking is the problem. Well, okay, for context first off. Timeline, again, so it's been 2 days, which also, not only was I editing episode 2 yesterday, but I also went to work. The low battery charge light was not on before I left for work. It only showed up after I was about to come home. So that tells me that it probably isn't anything that's just drawing power throughout the night, and it's probably more so something with the alternator, most likely.
And me looking back on this footage, I would like to exclaim that this is just a guess. This isn't a fact. We don't know at this point.
So I think it's safe to say that we might just skip over new tires for this next track day, because the car does already drive so much better with these current ones, which are equipped with Pirelli P0 all-season tires right now. Sure, they might not give as much grip as a sport tire and all of that, but honestly, I think if we were to go to those tires anyway, it might kind of void the idea of what I'm trying to get across here. What I'm trying to do right now is more so showcase the idea of what this car can do stock first. And putting racing tires doesn't really represent what its stock abilities are, because stock is with stock tires as well, I guess that's how I'm trying to put it. So I don't know, if you have any different ideas, tell me in the comments below, because yeah, I think having to eventually pay for whatever this issue is, whether it be an alternator or something else, and then having to pay another $1,000 for tires, and goodness gracious, yeah, that's not great for me right now. On top of also you have to pay for entry there, of course. I guess I'm just trying to say it all adds up in some ways. But the second issue we're having now is whenever I'm driving, the tire light comes on, and not for air pressure. Instead, what they do, from what I've been told, is
They use a combination of ABS and the wheel speed sensors, which at the current moment, these wheel speed sensors are told, hey, this tire on here is a 17-inch wheel at the factory size. Well, we currently have not only 18-inch wheels, but we also have it at the modern-day factory size. So these ones at their time factory size are actually smaller on the 18-inch wheels than the modern-day 18-inch wheel factory size. Lots of confusion there, but that's kind of what is happening, which is also throwing off the speedometer, which later on we have to go in and reprogram it, and then we go from there later on in the timeline, I guess.
So laying out all the stats for you people that might have an opinion on the tires. These new ones are a newer, shinier wheel, obviously, but it is thinner and also is bigger, therefore meaning that the wheel should be heavier, I'm pretty sure. I haven't weighed them, so I don't know that part.
Along with this, it also allows me to drive safely because it has fresh rubber on it and not a tire that's kind of going out. So anytime that it rains on the going out tires, it's not going to be a very safe drive, and it's going to allow for some understeer and, yeah, not so safe driving, essentially, versus the new rubber is the opposite.
And I'll go ahead and put the tire size of what this is on the screen now. Now, for these ones, they are a smaller diameter wheel, being a 17-inch rim, but the tires themselves are wider, and I'll put the tire size of that on the screen here. So with the wider wheel, that would mean that there is more power able to be put down on the ground. So do with that information what you will. Let's get on to the rear brakes. It's gonna be a little bit easier to get these off this time around, since in the last episode we did take off the whole wheel to just check and also change to these wheels. So Not too worried about it sticking on there and all of that, but that just means we'll have to leave one lug inside of the wheel. Also, watching back last episode with me having my legs underneath the wheel, it was like, okay, that's the best, well, not best, but easier way to remove the wheel. But at the same time, as I was watching it back, I was like, what if the car fell on my legs? Ugh. So yeah, I am taking notes from that. Probably not the best idea in hindsight. Okay, so we are gonna stick. What? There we go. That's coming. There we go. Just gotta lift up a little bit. I'm gonna put one of the older wheels underneath the car, so if it does happen to fall, that it falls on the wheel instead of my legs or anything else that's underneath it. Okay, here we go with our new rear brakes in this box here. And this will give you guys more of a comparison of what the brakes are supposed to look like versus what they look like right now.
Which, quick disclaimer, if you haven't watched the last video, I definitely recommend it. Not only because you get a proper timeline, but also you get to see this graphic in the order that it was shown. This is whenever I thought that this was the amount of brakes that we had left, when in reality we had this much, which is a vast difference. This is also at the same time when I do figure it out because of me fighting with the wheel well because we don't have the right tools, which is honestly probably for the better, because then I would have just wasted even more time on taking the whole thing off for no reason, and would have had to put it all back together. But here we are now. We're just gonna have a spare set of brake pads now for the rears, which isn't a bad thing. And yeah, I'll just skip through some of this stuff since now you guys know we're not gonna actually be doing any of that.
All right, the cars are back in their places, and after further inspection, my dad took a closer look at my rear brakes and saw actually they don't need to be replaced right now. So I guess mark brakes off the list and we just have spare brake pads now. That's the upside. So I guess I'll see you guys next time I get the chance to peep at this thing.
Well, your boy's at work and we have a slight issue. I was on break and my dad sent me a picture of the garage floor showing me that there's oil on the floor. That's a picture here. And I came out to just check my car real quick. Yeah, there's oil dripping from the bottom here. Right up in there. And hitting the floor there. Well, either way, that's no good, and definitely not good for the racetrack. I was gonna have the car looked at for the battery charge today, and then asking about the speedometer thing, see if we can get it calibrated, all that stuff. So I'm gonna do all of that later today anyway. And while it's there, may as well ask about that, because that is probably the bigger issue out of everything. Hopefully it's not turbo is gone, or I really couldn't tell you, because if it's on the garage floor, that means it's been doing it overnight, and yeah. So here we are in the shop. We figured out where the oil leak was. It is inside of the vacuum pump right over here. So I'm gonna have to take this hose off here and then get over to the vacuum pump and then change these two gaskets right here. Luckily I'm being allowed to use the tools at my disposal here, so I can go ahead and do this real quick. Just taking the first clamp off the hose. I wasn't able to find this bolt over here. It's because it's gone. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. I can see it with my eye. It's back in there. It's not even focused. Or you get the idea. It's a missing bolt, but that just makes it easier for me, so I can get this job done a little bit faster, because I'm taking this intake hose off. These tools are a bit nicer than what we have at the house, so I'm using this opportunity. Just get some clips here and there, but yeah, here's one side off, and I just need to get this one off here. Well, I couldn't get this side out of the tube on here, and then one of the techs came up, helped me, said use some WD-40, and they sprayed it around here, let it spit for a second, and I'll wiggle it straight out. It popped out like it was butter. And obviously I wiped out the inside, so no one got inside of it, so don't worry about that. Now, get up in here. This is the vacuum pump, so we're gonna get in there and have to change the seals. Oh, I wasn't even looking at it. I was looking at it with my eyes. Get in there and change the seals on it. One of the techs has graciously lended me a 10mm because it was not in this tool pack over here. Classic. Let me set this phone down. Had to get a 10mm wrench as well as a yeah, get it what I mean here, and because this one was too big for up here because the metal's too close, and then the other socket wrench gave me more
length here to get to it, so that helped. But
I'm trying to find a way to prop this thing up. Much better. Yes. Okay. And this top one, I'm probably gonna do these ones too. There's this one on the other side, and I think there's one in the back. No. Yes, there is. I can feel it. I don't know how I'm gonna get to that. We'll figure it out though. I got myself into a unique problem. The second half of the vacuum pump wasn't off yet, so yeah, I just kept going, and then I was like, oh crap. Whoops. We're gonna take off the second one. The last one's in the very back here. Going a little fast pace because I'm just trying to get out of their way. I mean, not a whole lot's going on. The shop's about to close down, but yeah, we're about to take this off here so we can try and get this bracket off so we can get this out of the way and then go from there. Looks like now I don't need to loosen it all the way here because this has gotten loose enough now. I'm just gonna pull this off, try and get this off at least. Almost. There we go. We have saved the wrench. It is no longer part of the car. And here is our vacuum pump. Vacuum pump out. Here's the old seal on the first one. And here's the new seal right here. Relatively cheap job. It's only $17.50 for both this one and the other gasket. So now we're gonna take this one off here, get that off, and then, well, we're gonna have to clean all this up first, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. Now that there's light on there, you can really see how much oil's on there. This is sadness, considering I just cleaned the engine bay. All of it. This is gonna have to be re-wiped down, re-cleaned, all of the above. Last bolt is under there, and we will get to that here in a second. Trying to see if I can't get some camera angles for you guys to see what I'm actually doing versus just talking about it. The engine is still hot, just letting you know, in case you're curious. Oh, you can't see nothing there either. All right, I'll just see whenever we're done. All right, here's the first half that ate the wrench almost, and then here's the second half that we just took off. We just took off this paper seal that went in, something like that, and it's gonna take it off, replace these two. Hopefully this should fix that leak. And then here we are down here with all of the oil that I'm gonna have to clean up after. Yay. They just gave us a little bit of Scotch-Brite here so we can just scrape off some of this stuff and get the dirt outline off of the side here. I'm gonna try and not get inside of the actual open bit of the engine here, the little cam, and yeah, let's not do that. My knees are like bending inside out and it's not feeling great right now. Yeah, that's actually looking a lot better as is. And then we're just gonna have to brake clean the rest of it. Don't fall, phone, please. And we are at home right now. This is the next morning, actually. I'm about to go to work now, but we're just gonna double check real quick just to make sure all of the work that we did yesterday is good. No leaks and all of that stuff. And also no more bird poop on the hood. I don't know what happened. I don't think I even told you guys this because the phone storage died. I had to upload some files to my computer and then delete them off my phone in order to be able to record this right now. But yeah, I think I made some birds mad because they keep pooping on my car. I don't know if it's like I was driving up to their feeding spot and I like scared them at some point, or like I don't know what's up with that, but they keep pooping on my car. Yesterday, it was one nice little splooge right there, and then one on this backside over here next to the gas tank. Well, bam, right there. And I'm like, what did I do to you guys? Like, genuinely, what did I do? Because they're angry. Anyway.
Let's see, it was on right there. And I don't see nothing. There is gonna be marks on the ground. That is the stuff from yesterday, and those are dry. So,
tells us what we need to know, that we did a good job, that we put everything up properly. I knew that I did, but you know, it's always good to double check your work because you never know if something else happens and it's really not the thing that you fixed that was the issue, and you know, you're in some whole loop of trying to find something and then fixing things and yeah, all that stuff. But I'm going to be on my way to work now, and then that'll be it for this episode. A little bit more of an eventful one so far, but
But I think I have one that's a bit more eventful coming up next episode. I have a little bit more of surprises in order and things that have happened since then. Yeah, I'm just going to include it all in that next episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe to all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you later. Deuces!